What's up? What's up? What's up? It's me, your boy Richie Rich, Consumer Appliance Report, man. We back at it again, shooting another awesome video. This time we want to focus on the GE front load washer that has the baby blue gasket. Now it's the parts video, so we're going to shoot the parts. Alright, so always, remember, hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Cool. Appreciate you guys always, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the notification, hit the alert. Always hit the subscribe button. Again, the more you interact with the videos, the more we can actually shoot videos, the more we can actually help you decide on what's the best appliance to get out here. Alright, so like I stated before, previously, we're talking about the parts. So now we're going to focus on the parts. How much it costs you if you decide that the unit is out of warranty. Alright, 5 or 10 years from now, within that time frame, after the 1-year manufacturer warranty is over, now it's time for you to repair this appliance. How much is it going to cost you? You know what I mean? How much is it going to really cost you to replace this, to repair this joint? So let's focus on a couple parts. Alright, so we're going to go through the whole parts video here. Alright, so bear with your boy. So, as we begin, we can focus on some of the parts that typically go bad. We're going to do the actual drum on this appliance. Alright, so we're going to talk about the inner drum. On the GE model washing machine or any front load washing machine, that inner drum tends to crack or the bracket tends to break. So what normally happens is a technician will come out, you try to spin the basket, it won't spin, it feels like it's broken, it feels like it's coming apart. You can see the gasket ripped around the front portion of it, so you can actually see peelings of the gasket just stripping off into the motor inside the machine. You can hear it smoking, like a burning smell. That's normally key signs to let you know that, hey, that front, that basket is actually starting to wear down or broken. So if you need to replace that, let's go to this actual GE. So I'm on GE website because that's the best website to get all these parts here. So if you're looking at that inner drum, so I'm going to highlight that on the video as well so you can see exactly what it is that I'm actually seeing. Alright, so you just got to wait for it to load up a little bit, you know what I mean, internet kind of slow today. But either way, roughly you're looking at the drum basket assembly with the bracket, the whole entire thing you're looking at on GE website about 250 bucks. I'm just rounding it up so it could be even. So you're looking at 250. Alright, you can get the bracket separately, but most technicians, when they come out to repair that, sometimes it's difficult to get the bracket off, so you might damage the actual drum. So it's best to just like get the whole entire thing. Alright, so again, this appliance, if you look at the parts video, it's about $1,000 to get this unit fixed. But again, your part for the drum, you're looking at about $250. Again, just to say, if your labor for this is about 200 bucks, because again, this takes time. It takes a couple hours to do. Sometimes you can't do it by yourself. The unit is extremely heavy, so you got to take the whole entire unit apart and basically put it back together. Alright, so you're looking at about 250 bucks in parts. Labor, you're looking at 200, so you're looking at about 400 or 500 bucks to get this unit repaired. Alright, depending on the pandemic and of course the availability of parts, that can prolong the service repair as well, so you want to keep that in mind. And understand that, you know, even if GE, which is the manufacturer, at times don't have these parts, then it's going to be somewhat impossible for a third party to have some of these parts, depending on how how available they are. All right, so that's cool. So you can look at that as well. So there's different parts of that. All right. So we did do the drum. So let's go back to that's the inner drum that you actually put your clothes in. So that's the stainless steel drum. You do have your outer drum, so it almost like sits in like an eggshell. So you have one drum, which is the rear, you have a drum that's in the front, and then you have where you put your clothes in the middle, and it's like an eggshell. That's basically how it is. So if we're looking at those parts, normally again, those don't really go bad on their own. It's normally because of the bracket from the inner drum breaking off, and it pushes the drum forward and it actually wears down on either the front drum, start to strip it and create a hole in it, or maybe the bearings in the rear drum typically can go bad as well. I wouldn't say it happens often, but it does happen. Alright, so if we're looking at this, you're looking at the front tub. That is about $48.50, so about 50 bucks for the front tub. That's not bad, that's pretty good actually, to be honest with you. But the rear tub that has the bearings in it, that is about 210 bucks. Alright, so again, these parts normally don't go bad. The inner drum is the one that breaks first. But if you can catch it where it has not damaged the gasket or the front drum, a lot of the times you can just get that fixed and you won't have to replace those additional parts. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Normally on that, everything else, oh, they do have the gasket. Alright, so that's one thing that we can actually focus on. We can actually look at the gasket. So the rubber gasket that goes around, normally built, that develops mold. It can either smell or it can either also wear down, right? Where it's dripping water in the front of the machine. So you can actually see that when it fills up with water and the water's spinning and it's splashing it on the front of the door. Then you can actually see water dripping at the bottom where the door is, in between the seal. That's a clear indication that your gasket possibly needs to be replaced because it's leaking water in the front depending on how much water is actually leaking. Alright, so right now I'm looking at GE website. That baby blue gasket, you're looking at, it's about $78, so about roughly $80. Alright, right now on GE's website, that gasket is temporarily out of stock. Temporarily out of stock. ETA on their website is saying it's February the 9th of this year. So you want to keep that in mind as well when you're purchasing appliances. That's why we're here to help you. If you decide that you want to purchase this appliance and there's an issue with the gasket, of course February is coming up pretty soon. But either way, I'm sure if whatever stock they get in, it's probably going to be gone just like that as well, depending on if they're having a lot of issue with that gasket. But gaskets normally wear down. From you opening and closing the door, pretty normal for that to happen, man. So that happens pretty often. Alright, so again, $80 for the gasket. So that's good there. It's not extremely expensive. And normally when we order the gasket, we also order the clamp that goes around the gasket to seal the door, to make sure that it's secured and make sure that it's tight. So you do want to order that. That part is about $5. Alright, so you're looking at about, if you buy the parts yourself, less than $100 as far as parts for the gasket. That's a common issue that normally goes bad, and replacing that clamp as well. This is just us giving you an estimate. We always talk about markup depending on the company that comes out. It's different for every contracting company that does come out, so you want to keep that in mind as well. Alright, so that's cool. Let's move on. Let's focus on something else. Let's focus on the motor, because this is a part of it. Alright, so we discussed the motor, having a 10-year warranty on the motor, just the part. Alright, so just to say, if you need a new motor and you had to pay it out of pocket, if it wasn't under warranty, it just damaged, you're looking at about 170 bucks for the motor. That part is available as well, so you can get that for yourself, which is cool. No problem there. So outside of that, like I said, these motors, I've replaced a few, but not a lot. This GE model, GE motors are pretty consistent. Not a lot of issues with them, but again, if you do need to replace it, then you're looking at about 170 bucks. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Again, we're going to show you all these videos and everything else that you see here. We're going to take our time and go through some of these. You have the pulley that goes on the back where the belt sits on. Normally that does not go bad, but if it does go bad, it's because there's times when the machine is overloaded, and you have to factor these things in when you're using the appliance, because you can damage it. It's nothing like wet clothes. Of course, when you put them in, they're not as heavy. But when water hits it, it's soaking the water. They absorb a lot of the water when it's trying to spin and all this extra stuff. You got to factor that stuff in. The more you overload the machine, the more it can be damaged. All right, so you can actually wear down the pulley, and with the pulley being worn down, then the machine won't spin. The belt could come off, the belt could pop, stuff like that. So you have the pulley that's about 20, I'll say 25 bucks to round it up to be even, and then you have the screw that's inserted inside of it. That's about $5. All right, so the belt. Let's talk about the belt a little bit. You're looking at the belt. That's about 25 bucks there too. So the pulley and the belt, and the pulley screw. All these are connected, and like I said, they're inexpensive as far as getting stuff done. Outside of that, you have different clamps that you can use. That's $5. You have the tub, the pump hose that sometimes gets hole in it, because again, you gotta remember to empty out your pockets, man, when you put your stuff in your washing machine. Pointy pins and all these type of stuff. When they get inside the machine drains it out and sucks it in through the actual pump hose, tub to pump hose, and when it goes through the hose, then of course it can create an insertion inside the hose, and then of course you have water all over the place because it's leaking. All right, so that's cool there. Most of the stuff we went over as far as dealing with the tub. Everything else is pretty straightforward, man. It's just mostly just little stuff that you can see. I don't really want to move too fast because this is the parts video, but we also want to make sure that you are informed as well, and understand how to use the appliance. You have suspension that can typically goes bad, that can go bad and wear down, cause the machine to make a loud noise. So you want to factor that in as well. That's about $12. So it's not expensive as far as the parts, which is shocking for GE. GE parts are normally extremely high. Like I said, it's shocking. You also have the light. So on this machine, you have a light. So when you open the door, you can see the light inside of the machine, so you'll know exactly what it is that you're looking at. So that light is about $30. All right, so that would be extremely important for you to look at if you need any of those parts as well. Parts, man, it's extremely important to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into when you purchase these appliances. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see some of this stuff. So now you have a couple things. Now we're going to focus on the dispenser, and this is the automatic dispenser. You also have your control panel or your user interface board, so the panel that you're pressing and interacting with the machine. That's a control board that's sitting behind me as well. So we're going to discuss that as far as the price for that, if you do need to repair those. Of course, it has a digital little knob that you can use to turn the different settings and different cycles. So it's called the Selector Knob. The Selector Knob is about $23. Inexpensive, pretty cheap. You can order the control panel. So the panel is actually separate from the user interface board. So the panel is where the board sits in. All right, so it's just a plastic covering. So if you're looking at the plastic covering, they have it in white. Remember, this machine has two different colors. It has a steel and it has a white. All right, so you want to be mindful that depending on the color of it, it also have an impact in availability of parts, and it also changes the prices of the parts as well. All right, traditional colors are like white, of course, and like black. But when you're dealing with like stainless steel and all these different colors, you might have a red machine. Like, you got to pay extra for having these exotic colors. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, so control panel, you're looking at about $72, $73, $75, whatever it is without taxes. Right now, they're telling us that the user interface board is no longer available. It has been replaced by a different number. All right, so let me see if they're giving us an actual price on this particular one. It says, we're sorry, we did not find any matches for this search. So right now, if you need to replace the user interface board, 3 years from you purchasing this appliance on GE's website, like I said, with the pandemic, a lot of things has changed. Not saying that they would never have this part and you can't look for it on some other site. You can also look for that. Right now, it's no longer available. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this appliance. It's nice, but if you need to get it fixed, man, these parts are just not there. All right, so you want to keep that in mind. Water valves or solenoids normally go bad. They can allow water to come in the unit even though the unit is off. They can prevent water from coming in. They can also leak. So if you need to replace the water valve on this unit, it comes as an assembly, so you'll be able to see everything there. You're looking at roughly, it's about $60 right? So it has both the hot and cold and bleach and all these different settings. One valve, it comes in an assembly. It has 5 solenoids on here, so you're looking at about 60 bucks. And right now it's saying it's temporarily out of stock until March. Alright, so like I said, this is where we are right now. But again, you can see that on the video that we're shooting, so you can know exactly what we're talking about. Alright, so let's go into the soap dispenser. So if you happen to need a soap dispenser for whatever reason, there's a crack in the soap dispenser, it's actually leaking, it's not working, not allowing the soap to dissolve. You want to replace that. It comes as an assembly. You're looking at 140 bucks for the whole entire assembly. Alright, so you will be able to see all this that we're showing on the video. It's a baby blue smart dispenser. So that's how much the soap dispenser costs. 140 bucks, labor if it's 150, so you're looking at about 300 bucks, man, to get this replaced if you need a new soap dispenser. That's not even counting markup or anything else, so keep that in mind. If you happen to need a soap dispenser, that's how much it costs, and it is available, so that's good if you need to replace it. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Let me see, is there anything else that normally goes bad here? No, this is pretty straightforward. So we talked about a few things. Again, you'll be able to see all this on the video that we're shooting here, so you can know what parts go bad. So we talked about the tub and motor, we talked about the controls and dispenser, the cabinets and everything else. To be honest with you, man, normally GE don't cover cabinets. They don't make cabinets, I'm sorry. For these machines, if the cabinets are damaged, you're just gonna have to get a new machine. Alright, let's talk about the main control board. That's one thing that we gotta discuss. So the user interface board communicates with the main board. Right now they're saying sorry, we're sorry. It says we did not find any matches for your search. So right now, if you need a control board within the next 5 to 10 years from pushing this appliance, on GE website, it's no longer available. Keep that in mind. Alright, so that's gonna help. That will help you a lot. So that's one thing there as we zoom in and go through here as well. Just seeing if I can find any common issues or common parts that typically goes bad on this particular model. Main stuff, control board, inner tub. So we discussed a lot of those. Oh yeah, the drain pump. So your drain pump has a filter at the bottom. Like I said, I like how they incorporated the baby blue. I think that's pretty slick. I think it's nice. I like the color, and it's different. So you gotta think about that as well. So if you want to replace the drain pump with the filter, it comes as an assembly. You're looking at about 60 bucks, and the part is available. All right. So on the videos we have part numbers as well, so that you'll be able to see what the part number is depending on the model that you have. But yeah, it's pretty, like I said, this part is available. I've replaced a few drain pumps. It's common because like I said before, there's stuff that gets stuck in your pockets, man. And once they get stuck in your pockets, they go inside the drain pump, damage the impeller, unit doesn't spin, unit doesn't wash, then you be, you know, right back doing what it is that you're doing or what you did before. So keep that in mind. So that's cool. Alright, so that's great there. So we discussed that. Everything is Gucci, everything is good. Bear with me as I slide through this. I don't want to mess up people's eyes, but I think this is, you know, this is pretty good as far as where we are, different parts. We can talk about the door a little bit. Don't really have too many issues with the door. Maybe like a latch. Well, you do have, let's focus on that. You have a damper vent. So this is new. Not too many people have this at all. I think this is the first company that I've seen with the vent inside the washing machine, because those gaskets develop mold, so and the machine smells, develop odor. So it's good to have a vent system that allows the unit to circulate some fresh air inside of it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but this is where GE has an upper hand on some of the appliances that comes out, because like I said, not everybody has it. The damper vent is about 50 bucks. Alright, and the part is available if you happen to need it. Alright, so that's good there. Another part that you have to be worried about or concerned about if it does break. Alright, so that's cool. You have the door, front panel. Like I said, man, there's not too many front panels I had to replace. If you need to replace the door, which is the front portion where the ultra vent system is, you're looking at about $270 for that part, the washer door. The part is available as well, so that's good for those who want to purchase it, but it comes as an assembly with the hinge and the latch, so that's good. If a technician needs to replace the door, they just order the whole entire door. Alright, so instead of ordering, so if you want to order the little latch by itself, the door strike, when you close it, the latch is on the latch, that's about $6. So if that part is broken, then you can just replace that. Your door hinge for this machine is about $50 as well. So if you need to replace the door hinge, this is something that you need to look at, something you need to see. Right now it's out of stock as far as the door hinge. The door strike is available. The door hinge is out of stock until March. Alright, so I don't want to double speak. I want you to speak so you understand me clearly. Actually, I'm sorry, the door strike is temporarily out of stock as well. Sounded like they don't have much of anything. That won't be available until February. So that's good, that's next month. Not too far from it. You have your door lock. Or you say, some people say door latch, door lock, same thing, depending on who makes it. So we're gonna go with GE's description of the part where it says door lock. So you're looking at the door lock. It is about $35, $40. So if you need to replace that part, like I said, that's a good repair. That's a decent repair. If the door latch is shorted where it doesn't lock the door, or because you're opening and closing the door sometimes, kids might slam the door, wife or husband slams the door, breaks the latch, or the door lock, breaks the door lock, then it's about $40-something to replace that. Alright, so outside of that, man, we are good. I think we discussed as much as we possibly can as far as parts on this particular appliance. Again, keep in mind, man, we're going to send you all the links to what we've done so that you can see that. Don't forget, man, always subscribe to the channel. Appreciate your support. This is for the GE front load washer. Of course, what we say at Consumer Appliance Report, you help me, I help you, we both help each other. Till next time, it's me, your boy Richie Rich, and I am out. Peace.